Hello everybody, and today we're going to talk about the Necron Destroyer. I'm going to go over a few hints and tips on how to use this guy effectively and how to get the most out of him for the points you pay. So okay then, the first thing I want to say to people is, are you actually using these guys correctly? With the way you wound and D3? And to be 100% sure, watch the video, you click on the top right hand corner there, watch my How Destroyed D3 video. Okay, so if you got this in your army, that's almost a quarter of your points in your army for paying 2,000 points. And you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Oops, a bit of smell there. So which unit do you think these are more suited to take down? Okay, let's go here now. Number 1, Wraithguard. Are the Heavy Destroyers suited to kill these? These are 3 wounds and they toughness 6. And most people say yes, of course, they do 3 wounds, that's exactly what they're made for. And that is actually the worst thing you can actually shoot the destroyers with. Because if you don't roll the wounds properly, you could cheese it. You can put like 20 wounds on them and you lose a few. So the best things to shoot these at are units like this. There. They are best suited to take out single units with multiple wounds. And the first thing you say, why don't you just use a Heavy Destroyer then? They're more effective to take those out. And that is true. This is why I don't personally use Destroyers anymore, because I've never found them effective for their points. The reason you shoot at things like this is that the D3 wounds, they can't be lost by carrying over to different models in the unit. So if you put 20 wounds on this guy, you got 20 wounds. You put 20 wounds on them, you could cheese it, you could probably take like, at the best scenario, this guy can take 5 wounds from the wounding pool if you roll them wrong, or if you don't roll them singly. So one unit with 3 wounds can take 5 wounds from a Heavy Destroyer. So by the time you wound it and hit, and then if you roll them all together, you can cheese that out, and then you won't kill hardly any. This thing, you can roll them all, you put 20 wounds in them, it's dead. And the problem is, the toughness 6 now, so they're hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. But they wounded on 5s, the same as that. So if you have the option to pick a unit with multiple wounds, or something with a single wound, go for the single wound. I personally believe these should just be a flat 2 damage straight. They are good, right, but for the points, you can take a much better unit, okay? So if you love destroyers and you use them all the time, and you just bought like, say 9 destroyers, like, oh, what are you saying, they're crap? Yeah, they are slightly crap, okay. Competitive wise, I wouldn't recommend these. But the one upgrade I would recommend if you do take destroyers is drop 1 and just pay the extra points just for heavy. Because you're stupid not to. Just take these units of 3s, they get wiped out, so they're quite safe in there. They're hard to kill. Okay, so let's go into tactics now, okay. You're paying the points for the D3 gun. So you gotta make sure you use that gun. You don't want to be shooting things like that because they can cheese you, unless you roll a singly, and even then you could end up losing a lot of wounds because they don't get carried over. So these prime targets are things like that, carnifexes, gargantuan creatures, stuff that is just a single model unit. And then this guy then is free to shoot him as well. And don't forget, he has more range than these, so you can move these up the board, shoot like a weak tank, and you don't really care if he dies or not, and then shoot him elsewhere, hit. First thing people say, well, the best thing to do is take this guy. You know, make him all reroll 1s to wounds. Unfortunately, out of all the games I've ever played, the only time he ever starts helping out is when you have 2 units of destroyers. And then you've almost half your points in your army, 2,000 point list, are in destroyers. And they just don't have enough damage output. I've tested this in so many games. I've had 2 units of these, him in the middle, so he's buffing both units, and they just can't do enough damage. They're not viable. That D3 lets them down every time. They just can't take things out as quickly as they should. So, if you want to take HQ with destroyers, right, I would recommend you drop this guy, because he's only worth his points if you take more than 1 unit. And in a 2,000 point game, that's just not viable because you probably will never win. I won't actually be able to win a game with 2 units of destroyers. So drop the Destroy Lord. I would recommend you take this guy instead. Okay. The reason why you take the Catacomb Command Barge instead of a heavy Destroyer Lord is My Will Be Done works out better on average than the rerolling ones to wounds. Because the whole unit can be hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, so you basically never miss. And you can just reroll to wounds. If you get one for wound, you can always command point if you need it. Okay? So his power is better than his before you start. He's much harder to kill, and you can equip him with a good gun. You can give him the Gauss's cannon underneath, so it'll be the same as these. And you can also give him the Staff of Light. I would recommend, if you run him with destroyers, give him the Staff of Light, because you don't want to be in combat. You don't want to just be running on the board and shooting people. And the Resurrection Orb is quite handy with this unit, because he's so expensive that extra reanimation roll could help you win the game. So when it comes to units like this, a Resurrection Orb, is well worth the points. Because you basically need to have one guy come back and the orb pays for itself. That's quite viable. So you just got 1 left, you just wipe out 5, you get 1 back, like use the orb! Bang, actually 1 or 2 come back, awesome, solid. So this guy unfortunately is useless. I cannot find a good role for him. Hopefully in the codex you'll have My Will Be Done for destroyers only or something. That will be good, but the way he is now, he's basically useless. He's better in every way. So gun options, same gun as these, because if you're using this unit, you obviously got a reason for using that unit in your army strategy. You don't just chuck them in there and have no idea what they're going to do. I would recommend, okay, you try to start them all just touching the cover like so. Obviously they all got bases, but I don't use destroyers because I find them not to be very effective. I had every intention of like spamming them, but they just don't seem to hold up. Okay then, so number 2 and 1, make sure everyone's touching cover so you have a 2-up save. And they have 10-inch movement, so if you can, every turn, send them out and keep them in cover. But there's 2 ways to use these now. Way 1 is to use them, say you're going to go for objectives, so that's out in the open, you can risk it, you just go and get the objectives. And then turn 2, obviously you're shooting every turn. And turn 2 you're moving up, and so on, like so. That's one way of using them. For the speed, you're paying for the points for the movement speed, so you want to be using it. This guy's going to lie down, he can fall off the stand. Okay. So, that's a good way to use them. Move them across the board, get objectives, get in the buildings. Okay. So let's just say now, as you can get into a building in the middle of the board somewhere, you should have range on basically a whole board. So if you can get in a position like that, where they actually reach out and hit almost every unit, that's a good thing to do with them. But don't forget, right, that they're so point heavy, your opponent will put so much fire into those. There'll be a good chance they'll get wiped out in turn 1 or 2. If they don't, awesome. But I would highly recommend you try and keep them in cover, because that 2-up will keep them alive. And if you want to buff them, I would recommend the Command Barge, simply because the Destroyer Lord just never seems to pay for himself. And not only that, you can use My Will Be Done from this unit on another unit within 12 inches. So if they get wiped out, you can use it on something else that is in range, like some death marks or something. Much better, much more viable. I would highly recommend this guy over the Destroyer Lord. So number 1, try and keep them cover, go for objectives with them, and shoot wherever you can. Option 2 is... Option 2 is good for bait. So you want to taunt your opponents, they come get me. So say this is like the melee knight. So the guy come get me, 3 inches away, he has his turn, he's like, you just go, just keep running away, keep shooting. They're very good to make things chase you. I've had units of Gene Stealers chase these. They're like 2 turns to keep leaving combat and shooting in. Really annoying if you use it for that. So basically, I would use these for getting objectives and use them as bait for kiting things that are slow. So that's got like a 12-inch movement, I think. How far the thing moves now. I only ever used that once in 8th edition. When the Codex first came out. I was like, yeah, this is crap. But anyway, so that's why I would recommend. The second option is bait. But then, do you really want to spend over 400 points to try and bait a unit? Not really. But there are situations you haven't got a choice. So you've got like some sort of Death Star or Death Aura Star coming up the board. The only option you have is stay and shoot them or run away and shoot them. and because they don't suffer the heavy penalty, because they destroy us, run like a little wuss. Keep it as far away from things as you can and just shoot the crap out of them until they die. And then don't be afraid then, say turn 3 or 4, try to start an advanced roll or so on to get objectives to help win points. But the best strategy I've found is turn 1 or 2, position yourself near an objective like here, have them touch cover, so you're 3 inches in the objective. And if you ever get like secure objective 1 or supremacy, you have it, and you go to cover. See? Or touching cover within 3 inches. So even if it takes me like turn 3 to get over there, on the other side of the board, and like I killed all this stuff on that one side of the board, you can send them up with a 24-inch gun, 2 shots apiece. Hold that objective, just do all the shooting from there. That is the most effective strategy I've found with them, is just camp. Get somewhere with top cover, within range of an objective if you possibly can, and just stay there and shoot the whole game. And this guy's range will pretty much open the whole board up to you. I would recommend you take this guy if you take the destroyer unit, simply because we suck at killing tanks. So every extra gun that you can do a decent amount of damage to the tank will take him. So okay, that's my tactic videos. It basically comes down to camp an objective or shoot and run away. Because that's basically all you can do with them, okay? The no objective secured. And pick your targets wisely, okay? These, don't waste your shots on these. Things like that you want to waste your shots on. If you can wound those on the 3, yeah, fair enough, you know, you wound them more, you'll kill more. If you wound them on a 5, wound them on a 5, you kill the single units, single model units. Like the Khan effect is, if you can get in range of a HQ choice, like sneak behind them because they're so fast, shoot them. Do not ever waste your shots on those. And if you're wondering why, if you click up at the top corner there should be a video on there that describes why I don't like the D3 shots of the guns. Or the D3 damage of the guns. I won't go into this video because I want to keep it short. So thank you all for watching, and I hope this helps you out, and I hope you've learned something. So I'll catch you all again next time.